All right. Seems like 9:30 is like a right time for me. Seems like the time that I'm naturally done with everything else and I can just start streaming. So maybe I'll officially say 9:30 for this one. We'll see what happens. So I want to do at least a little bit of something before stream. Starting my whole morning. And this part is just the go part. Yeah, seems like it's okay. Oh, but it seems like my mic is different right now. Let me look at my mic settings. Here. Yeah, it looks like it's, I don't know, looks like it's okay in here. -5. Maybe something else is not working. Oh, maybe. Okay, I might need to update something. All right, let me do that real quick. There you go. Installation complete. Good morning, Dark Jackal. Just updating things to make sure it's all working properly now. May have to close it and open it back up, but it'll just be a moment of silence. All right, 1 second here. There we go. We're back open. Is it back to normal? Let me see. Not doing what I want it to do. I don't know why exactly. Oh well. I'll do something else. Feel like you enjoyed your time on Fox That's Friday. That was fun. It was silly and fun. It was good enough. Um, what's sample content drive? I don't know what that means. Oh well. Just mess around with something real quick. May have to get rid of it completely. Deleted. Deleted. Add. See if it fixes it if I add it back in. There's a lot of what was it? Rev E that I like? Yeah, no, it's just not working right now. Oh well. I just want to turn that on. How was your weekend though, Dark Jackal? Did you have a lot of fun? Did you play some Go? Oh, it exploded internet? No, I'm not gonna press that one this time. That's a separate problem. I won't be pressing that button. All right. Let me add a different one here real quick instead then. I think it's this one here. This might sound weird for a second. This one's like this, and then you hit some problems. That's pretty good, actually. You know what? Doing problems is really good for you. And how you doing, Frozen Soul? And then dynamics here. We want this other one. And after. Okay. There we go. We got to put this in the right order. And then make sure the settings are right. There we go. Link it. Link it. There we go. It's doing something now. That's good. That's good. And then the other one, make sure that one's good. It looks like it's doing something too. All right, I don't have to mess with that one. That looks fine. And then this one, to make sure it's at the right volume, I can just turn this down a little bit here, and it should be good to go. There we go. A lot louder, a lot better. A little bit maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But whatever, it's good enough for now. All right. Man, there we go. You did a bunch of problems on Friday during your tabletop RPG session. That's probably great manners, actually. I agree. That's really good manners. You definitely should do that. That's definitely the right thing to do. Yeah, I would never not do that. I'll have to mess with the audio thing later because it just seems like it's different than normal, but it should be fine-ish. Okay. All right, now I can mess with normal Go stuff. It seems like it's closer to normal now, so yeah. All right. I guess I should listen to it, huh? Yeah. All right. Yeah, seems okay. All right. So I did a couple problems. I didn't do a lot, but I did do a couple. But I was not playing any other games while I was doing the problems, so I was definitely being nicer in that regard. um, I think I was on the number 2 Tsumego dictionary number 2, working through this one again. Yeah, it looks like this is the one. So let's do a couple of these. Then we have some Tetsuji ones because I finished off the other 100 something Tetsuji, so I'm doing some more of that, and then we should just be good to go. I can look at some pro game stuff. I'm kind of enjoying that. Kind of want to do more of that. Almost sneezed there. For now, I kind of want a pro game in the morning, and then I'll play games later on in the day in general. But I might still do games in the morning too. It just depends on how I feel. This seems like a move, but I should actually read it out first. Yeah, that should be fine. Yes, I did read it out. I was just double checking. That's I can just extend. I can't cut, right? So we're good to go. Oh yes, this one. No need to read that one. Oh yeah. You just got a new Chromebook with a touchscreen, so I can do problems on it without a mouse. Yes. That is a legitimate reason to just do your Tsumego instead of doing what you're supposed to do with your friends. No, actually, it is kind of fun to do it with a touchscreen in comparison to just clicking. I think that's probably slightly better than using your mouse. I do it on my phone once in a while, and then like sometimes even on like a tablet of some sort. That's usually pretty good. This looks like this just works, right? So yeah, touchscreen does change things. I agree. You are not wrong. Let me see. Scratch my nose and stuff. No co. We don't want the co. So we just pull back, I guess, because if they Atari, we can. If they push down, we can just Atari them, right? So we just pull back and connect because it's not 2 eyes. Already dead. We're good. I think this should be fine. If they throw in, we can block this way. And we should have 2 eyes. Even if we don't connect here, we capture. And this is the only thing we have to worry about. But when we capture, we can just capture back. So it doesn't matter too much. We can connect here or capture back, but either one should be fine. And giving yourself the opportunity to play the wrong side is great, yeah. kind of want to just do this one. Looks good. Can't capture me. We need an eye. We should be good to go. So what problems were you working through? You said you just did it was a bunch of random ones. Did you actually work on a collection? That's what we need to know. Because if you're doing it properly, you're actually doing the problems you're supposed to do. That'd be nice. Now you just need to play some games with that, right? Huh. This is a little bit weird. There's push and cut, I think, right? That makes sense to me. I'm just double checking. There's nothing there, right? Okay. The jump is better, I guess, but yeah. Whew. This is kind of a silly shape. I guess I want this move so that I can play this side. And if they play this one, we connect. We should have enough liberties here. Yeah, no, I think it actually is good to go through the simple problems. So like the easy collection, for example, I suggest anybody, if they just don't do Tsumego very often, yeah, the easy collection. I figured that's what you meant. But I feel like people who don't do Tsumego very often, they should go through these easy problems. Because if they stumble on any of these easy problems, that's going to really highlight something that they're not seeing properly, right? Because these are really easy. These should be really easy for most people. Even for beginner players, these should be fairly easy. So if you're going through it and you stumble, yeah, phone autocorrect is amazing. But if you stumble at any point, then you know that this is something you have to keep track of, this type of technique that was on there. Yeah, 99% of it should be super easy. 1% of it might have a problem. Who knows? That's also why for warm-up in the morning, I'm doing a lot of these collections that I've already done, like this Tsumego Dictionary Volume 1. The collection, I did this one a long time ago. And as you saw, I got like 90-something%. So I don't know how fast I was going. I guess you're in the 1%. It's good. That's good. Yeah, so I did this. I got 97% accuracy. So I'm just making sure that if I run into that 3% of problems that I messed up the first try, that I don't make the same mistakes. Entire thing is hard. Even the easy ones. We're almost done here. Just a couple more. Oh, we just connect. We're good to go. See, Brandon? Easy. Super easy. Yeah, you should be able to recognize all of the shapes with a lot of these easy problems. Looks like we can do this one. This is cool. And there's not enough space there. Let's just Atarium. Why not? I play whatever I wanted, but Atari is more fun. It's empty triangle. This one, we have to Hane here. That's the only option. We have to Atari here. I would mess those up in the game. Every problem's hard if you wear a blindfold. Life hacks, yeah. You know, if you wore a blindfold and someone had to describe you the problem, I'm not sure I would ever be able to solve any problem. Maybe if I could recognize it somehow in my brain. It would have to be someone I trusted to actually describe it to me. No need for blindfold, I'm just blind. Yeah. That's normal. We've all known that, Brandon. You've always been blind. Yeah, so I do think it is good though. Good to go through all the easy problems. Or it's an update for something. I'm not going to worry about that for now. We'll do that later. Anyway. So I'm on the second part of this one. I know, that's why, like, if you were describing it to me, even if you were being good faith and trying your very best to describe it, you would still fail at describing it to me. Like there's like even in your own videos, you'll say like, now just wedge here, or no, it was in one of your last videos, like it was like you say connect. I mean attach. I was like, wait a minute, those are completely two different things. Yeah, I'm on number 2 right now. This one should also be easy. When I clicked on it, it seems like it says like 10Q and up to like 6Q. So hopefully I don't stumble on any of these ones either. I'm not doing all 100 right now, but terms are hard. Yeah. I would honestly, I would definitely need someone like Ben for that one. I would 100% need Ben for that one. Attaching is just connecting to your opponent. You know what? Sure. I like that. But yeah, I would definitely need someone like Ben for that instead of Brandon. I would just be so confused trying to figure out what he's saying the entire time. Just Atari. We have 4 liberties. They would only have 3. Seems good. Oh, not Atari, but see, look, I even said Atari. See, that's no good. I'm thinking of this Atari. Terms are hard, and especially when you're gonna have to describe it to somebody. That makes it way more annoying. It was a fun little one. You have a space of 3 that's a dead shape. You just have to take the eye away. It's super easy. It's easy. Yeah, it's super easy. It's easy. Yeah, but yeah, if they do it wrong, Tesuji seems impossible. Like right here, how would you describe this one? I think Go commentators would be good at describing positions on the board. I could describe opening, right? Like I can think through an opening in my head pretty easily, but a life and death problem, describing that, I would have a really hard time. But I guess we don't really have names for all the Joseki either. So that would also be difficult. If I do throw in here and they try to make the Ko shape, they can't. Okay, good. Whew. Safe. Okay. I think that could be interesting. That could be interesting, having people describe situations as best they can. You Atari then Hane. Yeah. Best I got. No, but you're describing the answer. You're supposed to describe the problem so I can get the answer, right? So how would you even describe this? It's a like yeah, I could not do that. There's no way to describe this in order to actually get the answer. Like I could get the answer of like, oh, you have to throw in, but how would you describe the position? Pro tournaments. Oh, okay. Well, even if you say that, I still have to compare it to myself in order to try to figure out if I could do it. You know what I mean? Because if I can't think of a way to do it, then it might be difficult for other people as well, right? Because even the ones for pro tournaments, they're just talking about the moves on the board. They're just regular. Most of them are just professionals. They're just doing it, just called us amateur trash. Well, we know we are amateur trash, but we didn't like being called it. Okay. That's the thing though. Like, even then, like if maybe if in like Chinese, I know there's like a ton of different names for positions. I tried not to a little bit. Like, there's a ton of different names for positions, right? So if it's a Tesuji, they could just say the name of the Tesuji, and then they would know what the answer is. In English, we don't have a name for like all the different Tesuji. But that could be like the only way I could think of it. Anyway. Oh, there's a nice another throw in. Okay. Yeah, that's the only way I could think of a way to do it. It's because they have a special name for it. Like, I don't know what they call this. This the wraparound? I have no clue. But maybe like a more practical thing would be describing like an opening position, and you have to come up with the next move for that opening position or something like that. Because like I feel like that could be easier for both sides to describe and think about in their heads. That doesn't mean you'd play it right, but that could be easier to think about. Can we just throw in first? Looks like we can, right? But yeah. I don't even really do commentary. They had me do it once or twice, and they didn't invite me back because I didn't do a very good job. Let me see here. Looks like this is just regular here. What? Why'd you do that one? Eventually failure test. Has a lot of variations. Yeah. See, if you describe that, I would just be like, well, just play wherever you want. Just Tanuki. Tanuki's the answer here. But there's the raccoon drumming the raccoon's belly or something like that, and there's the golden chicken standing on one leg, and like I don't even know the names of a lot of them, but I've seen people talk about the names of a lot of them. Oh, it's just simple here. If we Atari first, we lose, so we have to throw in first. Yeah, like I don't know. These are just throw-in Tessujis. That's all I can really think of is a squeeze, a throw-in, like those types of words. But that doesn't really help describe anything. Yeah, not very well. We don't want to throw in this time at T17. We want to throw in at T18 this time. There we go. Tanuki. Yes. If you Tanuki from that, it is the Tanuki problem. That makes sense to me. The Tanuki, Tetsuji. Throw in again. Yeah, because you'd be thinking of the wrong position. Because is it the pig snout with a turn? Is it just the pig snout by itself? Because if it is, it's alive. Or if it's the small one. If it's the big one, then it's dead, right? Just have to Atari. All the same thing, probably. See, that's why I would need someone else to do this for me. I couldn't trust Brandon for this one. Because the pig snout is alive, and there's a proper way to play the end game for it. And then the small one, like you gotta specify this the small one, right? But if they turn wrong early, then it's a ko. And then if it's the big one, it should be dead, but there's also potential for ko positions depending on the outside. And it's just that's way too complicated. I think we just throw in here. We're good. We give up these stones. We capture these 4. We're good. Oh, this one's cool. They didn't do the cool thing. I'm a little disappointed. Just throw in. We're good. This is connect and die. But even if you said that, I wouldn't know how to answer it without seeing the problem. Okay. Like that's another connect and die. It's the same problem, but it's different, okay? Just throw in here, I guess. I did 25 already. I guess I can only do a couple more and I'll be done. I need to go to work since I was told I should keep my day job. Geez, Dark Jackal. You don't have to be so honest about it, okay? Could have been nicer. This should be the same thing. We'll go to 40, I guess, instead of just 20. These ones have been really easy so far. I haven't stumbled on these ones yet. But I can still stumble. I know it's possible. Just throw in and do this. These stones are the important stones, right? So we're good. Lie more thoroughly next time. No. We definitely do not condone lying. Yep, We definitely do not condone that. That was not what we said. Oh, can we do it this way first? Just Atari? All right, 32. All right, we're almost there. Throw in. Maybe we can just throw in again, it looks like. You know, actually, even though I'm doing these ones really quickly, these are actually really useful problems in real games. These types of throw-ins are possible quite often. So sometimes that's why you actually play the R17 move. You play the knight's move instead of the turn, because if they do that, then you can jump off to the side and you have a slightly better shape. You got more of the corner, right? That's kind of interesting how that works. Are actually useful problems. And this one, of course, this one's useful too. How to save this stone, right? Seems good. Aha. Aha. So this is what it wants me to do. It does not want me to throw in there. It wants me to do it a different way. Oh, no, we're good. We're good. We can do it this way. No. What does it want me to do here, guys? Now I fail. Brandon left and I can't do problems anymore. Does it just want to play this one? But then we can't capture anything. Something over here to make it different? Just Atari directly and turn? Oh, wait. No. It's still no good. Still no good, right? We have to squeeze? Oh, see that one's way more complicated. Look at that. Way more complicated. They lulled me into a false sense of security and gave me a hard problem in comparison to the other ones. I was like, wait a minute, guys. Yeah, that's one of the problems with doing them fast, by the way. When you get to a problem like this, it's confusing. Yeah, because the idea is we want to save these stones and squeeze so we're alive here. But you have to be careful with that. See? Complicated problem. It does that. It's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Why'd you do this to me? You're like this, right? You just throw in your Atari, you're good. The other one, you throw in Atari, capture, squeeze, and try to live in the corner. Wait a minute. If we do this one and they go down, we just capture the 3 stones, and we're pretty happy with that. Can we do anything more? No, I think that's good enough, right? Yeah, we're good. We're good enough with that. Capturing 3 stones is all we really need. Oh, we should be good here. Should be good here. All right, problem number 40. I probably want to click into 41, and then I can save that for later. I might do the rest of it later. Who knows? Problems to live take more time than problems to kill. They shouldn't take more time, but I think that might actually be true. I think it's easier to be excited about killing the position than it is about just living. That could be the reason. All right, we'll go to 41 here, and then we'll see. I already know the answer, but we're leaving it here for now, and I can save that for later. I'll leave both these up so I can save them for later. And then high score here. I should be at like nothing because I did a bunch of problems I've already done. Yep. Yeah, the intention does matter though. It's the same in like it's why some people don't think real games or Tsumego translates to real games very easily. And it's like, yeah, well, it's not 100% about translating it to a real game. There are quite a lot of real shapes that you use, but sometimes it's about the reading aspect, right? But because like in a real game, you can choose to live way earlier than you can in a Tsumego, and often you want to jump out and try to live way earlier, or be alive way earlier, if you're playing properly. So the intention does matter. Because in a real game, you may not even play the move to get into the situation. Or you decide not to and you die anyway. Tsumego are flying close to the sun. Yeah. Well, that's the thing that I think is funny. Because like I already said, a couple of these problems I showed here already are very nice problems. Like this could actually happen in a game. And then if you know the Tetsuji here, Atari and Connect, you get to capture this. This is a really nice end game bonus, right? But it's not going to happen every game. It's just going to happen once in a while. And maybe it's not going to be capturing the 2 stones. Maybe it's just going to be squeezing the 2 stones because they're going to capture it anyway. But you still get some more in-game moves, you know? But when you see like a random hard problem, that they don't look like they're from real games a lot of the time. All right, let's open up Ka Train here. I think I got a higher level game this time. Higher levels in like both 9-dan professionals instead of 2-dan professionals. Where's Ka Train? There you are. Yeah, so I think it might be a little bit of a harder game this time, but there we go. Should be okay. Just need to hide these things. There we go. We're good to go. They can look through this game. Yeah, I think I've been enjoying just looking at like Tsumego and doing Tsumego and then doing these pro games early in the morning. I think that's been kind of fun. Because I don't always want to play in the morning unless it's something that I set up ahead of time, like I'm playing with a friend, you know. Because then, you know, I just have to do it. But I kind of like just like relaxing and looking over things in the morning more so. Sometimes I feel like playing though instead, but I think I mostly feel like playing later on in the day. Like that's the time where I feel a little bit more like playing like a bunch of games, which is why I might do more later streams. I'm letting it load a little bit more. But yeah, that's why I might do some more later streams for Fox stuff. But for now, just the one day specifically where I stream. The other days I'll just play on my own and do whatever. All right, so the first 4 moves, and we'll see what type of opening they want to play here. Are they going to do a normal enclosure? That's actually been pretty common lately. They could do 3-3 just because they feel like it. I don't know anything about these players. Tu Xiaoyu and Li Qingsheng? I don't know. I noticed that on Go for Go, whenever I try to download a Japanese game, they don't really let me too often. But if it's Chinese or Korean, I can download all those I want. I don't exactly know why. Maybe Japanese games you're not technically allowed to download for some reason. I don't know. That's really weird. But I was going to grab another Japanese game, but I decided I didn't want to mess with it for now, and I'll just do this one. And then if I feel like it, we can go look for another game. Because it's been like 30 minutes, so I like to do about an hour to 2 hours in the morning. All right, let's see what they do. Large night enclosure, very common. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I like every single time I go to download a Japanese SGF, it's like most of them say, no, you can't. You can still look at them, though. And almost, I've not run into any Chinese or Korean ones that have had that problem. So it could just be Go for Go. They have a weird license thing or whatever, but that's just weird. It doesn't really make sense. I'd have to look into it to really know what's going on. But it doesn't really matter too much. It's one of those weird things where you're just like confused. Yeah, so the most normal move nowadays is 3-3. But I actually think I like 3-3 on this board. So this is like old school right here. And when we do this old school one, what I like to do is the 2-space pincer if we're playing completely old. And then we get this sort of variation here. Now we can change it a little bit because it's new. We could go underneath if we want to. But just connecting is also still a Joseki here. And then you can leave it for now and just deal with the invasion stuff or deal with the clamp and such. Or you can play another move. But if we leave it for now, we can see that we get a pretty nice formation for black. And white even wants to continue locally. And this would be like a mix of modern and old right here. And I actually really like this position. But one of the reasons why I really like this position is because we have the stone at R11. We're already basically building this. We just need one more move to turn it into solid territory. So if that's going to happen anyway, then when you just take the 3/3 first and they block the same way, we'll just do this one. They don't already have that move. And so they can't as easily just approach on the bottom. It looks like this is the game, by the way. But yes, they can't as easily just approach here. So that's why I think it's basically there we go. Like normally you'd have to back off here, and we're sort of like one stone behind instead, so you can't approach over here anymore as easily and build as big of an area or as quick as an area. I guess it's not building as big because the other way could be reduced pretty easily, but you developed very quickly. Yeah, so this is what happens in the game. They do this one here. But yeah, when I started thinking about it in that respect, comparing it to the variation I actually like for black, I did realize that just taking the 3/3 here, even though it looks like it's really helping, black is not as obvious as you might think. It's not too different from if they pincered. It might even just be easier to handle in comparison for white. Black could take a 3/3 now or approach the bottom or however they want to do it. I don't know their style, so it'll just be whatever. The opening is somewhat about style. If you're fine with leaving the top right area, then I would probably just approach the bottom. Even though the left side is bigger, that's the widest side, approaching the bottom is threatening to make a very large moyo. So that's why I like it. And then just backing off. I don't know the exact extension here if you do back off. I think you can just play star point, but I think that any back off here is probably fine. You could also just extend as well. Yeah, they're going one space further. Interesting. I do want to see AI for that. Do they like that one? Okay, yeah. Of course, AI is looking at 3/3 points and approach. Any of these moves are going to be good moves. But I just wanted to see if this was too far or not, or this was close enough. I think, yeah, we might see this in the game. Let's see if white plays in the corner right away. No, okay, just approach. Okay, so this does feel like when you play this one, it doesn't feel as strong to do this anymore. It's still really big. It's still really good, right? We're still threatening a lot here, right? Because when you play this move, you have a connection underneath. You have a place to go over the top. They usually just have to run away. Moyo territory, Moyo problems. Is that anything? I don't know. But yeah, so they do have to just sort of run away here. And you get a really nice, not that. You get a really nice position on this side. And you can see that you just live very, very easily. But it's at least a little bit more cramped. So black could just run away here this way instead. And you still have to try to live. Whereas if you're one space further, now that's definitely something that black has to worry about. Like this is a really scary situation. Yes, there's more space for you, but there's also more space for your opponent. So it's just going to be a big fight here. So I don't know what I would prefer more. But I think that's interesting to play here. White does just prevent the enclosure or the approach on the bottom by enclosing. This is a high enclosure. You don't really see that very often. But I think the reason why white did that is because they didn't want black to do this shoulder hit, because that would be building the moyo. So that actually makes sense. I haven't really thought of it that way. I mean, it makes total sense. I could potentially think of that move as in a game in general, but you just don't really think about playing this high enclosure too often anymore. It's not very common. Because even with that shoulder hit, that doesn't mean they get anything. And here it feels like black could approach low. They're still getting something here, but they're also threatening the corner in a nice way. So I don't know if I like that. I'm sure AI thinks it's fine. Yeah, anything over there is fine. So yeah, that's interesting. After that, though, I wouldn't mind just extending on the top for sure as black. That's where I would want to play, is extend on the top. Yeah. Extend, extend, extend. Ooh, had to sit there for a second. Take extension there. This is somewhat normal, but you probably don't see it too often. I think it's a little bit more common to just close the corner instead now. But they played high, so taking an extension from a high enclosure is actually really nice. It's like traditional theory: take extension from your enclosure first. Take this extension, yeah, and then it's hard for black to do anything on the left side comfortably. So where would I want to play now? Just approaching the top is actually probably fine, but playing on the bottom at h3, I think that feels a little bit better, but it is growing white pretty easily as well, because white could just play over the top. Jumping into the left side would be fine, but I feel like I do want the bottom side more than the upper left, but I could just take the 3-3 in the upper left as well. It just depends on what I want. Could also be possible just to shoulder hit or do something on this stone right away. But I think bottom side I like a lot. Yeah, bottom side. Looks like invade is the AI move. That's fine. And then taking the bottom here is the other good move here. Has more readouts for the quick readout. So if I let it read a little bit more. Yeah, it looks like it likes to jump in the middle. This is something that I've seen AI do quite often in reviews. It really likes to play another move here, like just in the center here. Just say, hey, I got all this as territory. What are you going to do about it? And then they just invade and do stuff on the left. They let white get the bottom move. But I don't feel like that. I don't know if I like that too much. But I guess at the same time, it is making it significantly harder for white to do anything on this area. I may have to try that in a game where if I build like this, because this is a game that I could play pretty easily. I do this opening sometimes. So if I just do this one, I kind of like this move more because it looks more fun. The other one is the AI move. It wants just jumping, right? But I think this one's more fun looking. Yeah, white's probably getting the Hane. Don't do that. White's probably getting the Hane. But they do have a little bit of Aji with this move too. But overall, I think it looks good. You're just taking all your territory, taking all your moyo as territory right away, which feels weird. It feels like you're not really supposed to do it. So I'll have to try that. Mo territory, no problem. Yeah. Hello, Oleg. Number 11. Yes. And now, this is a more normal looking move, though. It's the one I wanted to play. Nothing wrong with it. Oh, more update thing. Okay, I'll update after the stream. Okay, shut up. What I was saying was that I wouldn't actually mind just playing this knight's move as white. We're growing our area and we're reducing black. if we invade, it's going to be a fight, and it's more likely that this area turns into points if there's a fight here. So I wouldn't mind doing this one. There might be a better move, like maybe shoulder hit or doing some other thing, but I like playing over the top here. That feels cool. Feels nice. Wow. What is this? It's the same idea, but it's very different. I think this one's a little bit more focused on reducing black. But that's really interesting. Okay. Okay, I have to check this one. That is the move. Wow, look at that. I mean, it's not the blue move, but that is like one of the green moves here. Let me let it load for a second longer. Okay, my move is on there. My move is still a green move. That's all that really matters. How green your moves are. For the opening, my goal is to almost play like a 90% opening, 90% AI match opening. 80 to 90 is I'm acceptable. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but my goal is 90. So all green moves. And I can usually do that if I'm focusing. If I'm not focusing, who knows what'll happen. And if I'm playing a weird game, who knows what'll happen. Though that's an interesting move now too. Another sort of reduction-y move. That one's really weird. I would never be able to find that. I guess it's a large knight reduction from the corner. That's a bit weird. And this one I wouldn't have thought of either. So yeah, this one's interesting. As I said, it's a little bit more focused on the reduction aspect while also still being able to grow. You could think of it as like the border between the moyos, right? My move does the same thing, but they could try to block it off and still build, whereas this move is going a little bit deeper in. Now we lose some potential on this side, but we're going deeper into the opponent's moyo, meaning that maybe we can approach at some point and try to fight in this area. So how would black answer here? If you just jump here, they can just back off and make a really comfortable shape. So you can't just jump or back off here. They have a really nice follow-up with the knight's move now. So if you're going to play to break this shape, you have to play all the way here into the shoulder hit, armpit hit type of area. And that's the only way to sort of break this as a shape here, because the knight's move here, for example, is just going to be cut off really quickly. This one, if they try to cut it off, it's far enough away that it's not too big of a deal. So H6 is the way to break the shape. AI wanted them to just jump in. I was seeing that when it was playing the automatic variations. I don't actually like that as much because it feels like this move is going to be useful when you jump in, because it's already sort of ahead of your opponent. You're going to be kicking them, and they're going to be running this direction, and you already have a stone here, so it feels good. So they are just going to back off. Okay. They're happy enough with this exchange. They don't care too much. So if we played this one first, they would usually just back off. And then instead of this one, we would probably just play this knight's move again. Yeah, they can cut through it, but if they cut through it, you actually want to fight here because you have at least the upper right corner, and you can do something in the lower right, and you sort of want to invade on the right side in general. So cutting through it would just make it stronger and make white happy. So yeah, I would play this one. So if I played this one, you could argue that's sort of like not a bad move, but a slightly weird move. Maybe pulling back here, not as aggressive, right? So it looks like white probably shouldn't pull back to h5 right now anyway. Let's see like if AI would even want that move now. It does want that move still. Okay, so it still thinks it's fine. Look, like that said, like it's very slightly worse. Minus 0.2 instead of minus 0.0, right? So it's still a perfectly good move for regular people. But it is like, it does feel like it's a slightly better exchange for black if you play that now. But that doesn't have to be played because now white can do something else. They don't have to play h5. They will have to endure h6, which can break the shape. But if we're just focused on reducing, you could just jump now, for example. We're just reducing. We can just jump. But I don't think there's a reason to jump. But I think this is when you could come in more directly. You have at least somewhere you can run to. This was actually something I saw in, there's a brand new player, not a brand new player, a double-digit Q player. I think they've been playing for a little bit. No, they're not brand new. But he makes videos. I don't remember his name right now. I'd have to look it up. But something that he would do, for example, he would invade over here and then, like, you know, play another move to try to make this a better shape or something, whatever. And then instead of jumping out, he would play like this move now. Like he would go back to this side now. And like, see, I like this move because I'm giving myself a place to run to. Well, no. That's not how you do it. You give yourself a place to run to and then you invade. That's actually a really important distinction. You're not helping your stone by playing this. You're not helping this group by playing this move. You're playing this move and it's not doing much for your group at all. So, yeah, and I've seen, it wasn't just him, but it reminded me, when I saw that, it reminded me more people that did that sort of thing. And it's like, no, you give yourself a place to run to first. That's the most important part. You have a place to run to first, and then you can invade if you want to. I don't know if they do that. Oh, they're going to attach instead. Okay. Wasn't sure if they do that, but that would be how you're supposed to sort of do it. Attaching here, I guess they want to try to get this in Sente. Because if black plays here and white extends, black usually wants to extend in the corner. Black could also do the Unites move in the corner, but usually you want to extend one more time, sort of highlighting the potential weakness in the shape, and then white can go and play something else. So yeah, you do this one, black doesn't need to respond. You do this one, black more likely has to respond. And they don't want to just back off. That's already a good enough exchange. Because basically nothing changed except white got an extra bit of strength here, which makes this move by black later a little bit more difficult to pull off. So it's already a good exchange. I don't know if I like it, but it looks like it's fine. I'm not gonna keep pressing that button. I need to stop doing that. Anyway. So yeah, black does Hane here. But this could be a good time for black to actually fix their side or to do something on white's area. Or at least just knight's move instead of push. Knight's move would be threatening more of the corner. And then if white protects the corner, we can go and reduce this now. But reducing right now would also be fine. I don't really want to give white this tiger's mouth, though. Oh, so attach instead. Okay. As I said, knight's move would also be fine here. The idea is that this doesn't work. You have enough liberties on both sides, you're going to be good. And then if they don't respond, when you go to the corner here, you're basically connected out to the corner. And if they try to disconnect you, in order to do so, they have to let you live in the corner, right? That's way too nice for you. And now these exchanges are perfectly good. It doesn't matter if these stones die, because these were really worth it. I'm sure black's winning after this variation. So attach is a little bit different. It's maybe highlighting the weakness of this shape a little bit more, because if white blocks here and black connects or extends, but if black connects, we're threatening the push through an Atari. So it really is highlighting the weakness a little bit more. And technically the corner's still open. If white plays something over here, the corner is still open like a normal invasion. The corner is still here. So white just defends the push and cut. And I think they were fighting a little bit for Sente here. But now white can be pretty happy because this is a much stronger position. But I think black's also very happy here. I would not be upset to have this position as black. And especially since we can play c3 now. This is really comfortable. Like c3 in such an easy way. It's probably better to potentially reduce from this side first, though, before we go into the corner. But the corner is really big. And do we want to do anything with this here? I think we still don't want to. I think we would rather reduce first. Though I think it would still be really nice to just play one more move. Let's see. Okay, they are going to play one more move. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I always feel like I want to focus a little bit more on reduction. And that is sort of what the AI wants to do. They do want to reduce here. Taking the corner as a way to reduce, and taking this as a way to fight here to use the corner Aji to try to reduce this way. As you did see, it does do the large knight here. That is the normal shape, by the way, the large knight. But it seems like anything to grow as well is fine. I was thinking a bit more conservatively, but something like this also feels good, so it makes sense. I just said I wasn't wanting to press that button too often, but then I found a position I wanted to check again, so whatever. All right. It does feel like white can't just take points right now because both of their corners are open. So white can't just keep building right now, I think. I think they do have to do something now. So they are attaching, yeah. Okay. AI wanted the attachment right here, but that feels really scary. Even if black just pulls back like this, like you have to live with this group somehow, you know? Yeah, there's cutting points and stuff, so maybe it's possible, but it just feels a little annoying. But this one, there's nothing wrong with this one. Probably more normal approach. I think the other one, you need a specific ladder to work. Whereas with this one, you don't need that in order to get some sort of variation going here. Even without the ladder, I still don't think I want to Hane on this zone. Maybe Hane the outside. They have to extend here. But if I lose the corner and I lose the side here. And I don't want to lose both of those things very, very easily like that. So normally like extending down or extending up could be the right idea. Extending down is better to prevent them from living. So that's what I would sort of expect here. If they Hane, white can do the double Hane and try to get some extra shape before just going back and lightly reducing it like P8. So I would expect extend, but they are going to Hane. I don't know if I like the Hane personally. I think any move's probably fine. I just don't know which one I personally like. I think I prefer backing off like this, but maybe it's already a good exchange. Maybe it's already considered a good exchange for sure. Let's see. Let's see how it goes in the game. He's probably going to, yeah, he's probably going to do something here. So like this one, this will be like the normal sort of variation, right? Except black doesn't need to turn here and capture in the corner because this will just make white have a really comfortable position. Instead, black can just capture, and white is not very comfortable here. Even though they can maybe live like this, they're not very comfortable. And you can even do it this way as well. Just depends on how you want to try it. There we go. So that's why I kind of want to extend instead, one of these directions, because it feels like we're getting rid of a lot of that sort of Aji. And then white is also highlighting that if you play something on the outside, white can Tanuki now. They don't have to play anymore because eventually they can go and live here like this pretty comfortably. They can even Atari here again if you don't capture, and you get this really comfortable life in the corner. And they can even push again because this Atari could be annoying. So white could Tanuki now I don't know if they will, but they could. If white extends, I think they can still live in the corner even if black plays this move, because there's this Atari into here to live with the tripod shape. It's also known as the small pig snout. So that is possible. So black would want to like extend down this way to try to prevent that, or Atari to try to prevent that. Anything else seems slightly bad locally. Maybe no, anything else seems slightly bad locally. So they're going to Atari from that way. Okay. Yeah, I feel like you need to just fix that, because if you keep fighting and they can always go back and live in the corner, that's not very nice. So white should probably extend, keep the Aji open because there's Ataris in the corner, and even the turn here and Hane here can threaten to squeeze the shape. Oh, but he's not going to do that right now. Okay. Yeah, this is where I would have a little bit of a hard time dealing with this area, because I wouldn't be sure exactly how I'd want to play. I guess if you extend now, black is likely to answer on this side. So even though you can, not that one, even though you can push and turn, they can't really Hane there. You do get this, you do get this, you do get this shape here that's not too bad. Even though you can get this, there's a possibility black could play something else to really annoy you here. So having another move available in this area would be nice, because like maybe black can push instead of do the tiger's mouth, right? Could be any sort of shape here. So it'd be nice to have another stone locally to try to live. But this also means I kind of want to separate the groups, but then if I separate, I think white can live pretty easily on this side, because this side's really open. Something that you learn in it's the workshop lectures by Yilin Yang, is that if it's a 7x11 area, you can live in it. And so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then if we include this one, this is 7, and they still have to block it off, so it might even be 8. Oh, so 7x3 is besides 7-11. I'm thinking of 7-11 for some reason. But yeah, 7x3 area. So 3 lines and 7 lines this way. So if it's this much, you can live. And so that is able to live if black blocks this way. And the idea is that, of course, you're living while they're preventing you from escaping, right? But yeah, you can quite easily make 2 eyes on this side. 7x3 area, not 11. 7x3. Yep, 7-11. We're good. The 7-11 rule. Anyway, so I may have to start using my my other cup so I can keep my drink more warm throughout the entire stream. Because it's not cold now, but it's just cooler. It'd be nicer if it was hotter. So maybe I'll use one of the heat mug things. So black wants to block here, giving white the chance to go either direction. It honestly feels like maybe the top is easier to live in. The top side of this formation. This might change the calculation a little bit, but I think this is basically still the same. We are going to potentially hurt the corner, though. So if we can live on the bottom side, that would be better for not damaging the corner. But I do think this top side is going to be easier to live in. Yeah, moving to the top first. Black should block. The cutting point is annoying, so maybe jump is better, but that's really awkward. Yeah. Yeah, because if you Hane, this cut kind of works. Because you can see that we don't want to let this happen, and we don't want to have to worry about these stones, right? We have a little bit to worry about here. And then we also have Hanes and pushes and stuff, so we have to be a little bit careful here. And then, of course, it could be clamp instead. And if we're giving the clamp anyway, you can see that white can almost just connect up like this and maybe even make another eye. So we don't necessarily want that either. So just jump is the proper shape here. But this does give white just a little bit more room when they can push in here. And they're doing it right away. Yeah, when they push in here, this is just a little bit more room. I don't know for sure. But I guess you only need 7 in a row in Sente, I think, in order to just live on the side. Yeah, I think it's 7 in a row. Because 8's alive, I believe, and then 7 is alive with if you have Sente. And we're at 3 right now. If black just jumps here, we can push once at least. So we're at 4. We push again. We push one more time. That's 5, 6, and I think we can push at least on one more of the sides to potentially just be alive, because there might be too many cutting points. So I think black can press us down, but we can live. So black may block, and then you can just play on the top side comfortably. Knights move, large knights move. Large knight feels good, but then we're also getting pressed down. So just normal knights move here instead. Okay. I was thinking if we do this one, black can still sort of do stuff over here if we're not too careful. So now there is Aji in that specific variation, but that means any move over here we have to be really careful of, and then we're also damaging the corner a little bit again, like I said. So jumping this way is slightly better for not damaging the corner. And as I said, that was my main concern with living on the top is hurting this corner here. Now, this whole bottom side is definitely going to be points for black after this. But this black group here has the potential to be attacked now. It should be strong enough to not die, but it has the potential to be attacked now. That is something we learned from AI. Before, we would have thought that was impossible, basically. It was very rare. So black's playing from the bottom here. This is establishing a little bit of territory, or a little bit of eye space, I guess, more so, and pressuring this connection. I kind of want to press it down, but no, I think I can. I think I can press it down at least one time, because if black pushes and cuts right away, we have enough liberties to capture this stone first. It would be 4 liberties to 3 liberties here. So I think we can actually do this one. Yeah. And his black would 100% not have played this move, so I can luckily just put it straight on the board. Yeah, that's what I'm reading here. We have 4 liberties, they have 3 liberties, so we're good. And of course, they can't do it this way. We might even be able to just connect, but just turn at least, right? Pretty obvious. So they pull back here, then we can defend our cutting point. But we got this really nice exchange in, so I'm happy with that. Ooh, one more time. So not worried about... Oh, you know what? I agree. Okay. Of course, black can push here now and kill these stones. But is that worth it? No. Not at all worth it. Not at all worth it. White doesn't even need to connect on the first line, on the second line right now. That's just always available. They could be jumping out and attacking this group now. And so this feels really nice. And black always has to make sure they can't connect at some point if they want to fight back. So this would be way too good. Those stones are not important right now. So this is a really nice exchange. Black does have to crawl again. Can we Hane first? I think we can. We could Hane. I don't know if it's good, but we could. I guess these 3 stones are really not that important at all. I wouldn't mind just jumping out towards the center or playing this Hane and connecting the corner, threatening to cut through. But that could also just make us too weak on the outside. So I wouldn't... I think I actually would be okay with just jumping out towards the center. These 3 stones are big. So the only thing I need to think about right now before deciding to just throw them away is how much Aji is actually in this bottom right corner. If we extend and they push here, then it's all connected and good, and there's no way for us to live in the corner, so that seems no good. If we turn here and block, you can see that these 4 stones are a little bit disconnected. While they can surround, this does mean that we will have potential Sente moves on the outside, threatening to cut them off. And also, there is this cut too. So with all these cuts, I actually feel like I want to save the 3 stones. Because like something like this, here's like an eye here now, right? We were able to squeeze and get an eye. That also means that if we had any move on the outside over here, maybe we'll be able to do more here, right? So looks like there's possibility of this area being slightly deadly for black, depending on what happens later. So I think I actually do want to save the stones. So maybe just like this move here or the turn here. Maybe even bumping, doing this, but maybe they aren't important. Maybe they aren't important yet. They're just going to jump out. Okay. So my first instinct of jumping out was good. Pro level, right? But the more I thought about it, the more I do think those 3 stones might be useful, but it might just be too hard to live. Yeah, that's the next thing to think about, right? That's the next thing to think about. I think in a quick game, I'd be jumping out no matter what. Because I wouldn't, well, maybe not no matter what. Depends on, depends on how I'm feeling that day. I may have just turned like this at one point earlier on even. But I think I'm more likely to jump out in a quicker game. But the more I think about it, the more I'd want to save these stones. But I think if you save the stones, maybe the issue is black is able to just fix all the Aji over here. And then it doesn't matter if you save those stones. You would much rather have move out here already that you could reduce this area and allow them to capture this. Because you're going to be able to get some extra forcing moves out of this anyway. Because this push and cut is still a thing, even though there's only 3 liberties. This black group also has only 3 liberties. No matter which way they cut, it'll also have only 3 liberties. So there's still Aji. Okay, there's still Aji there. So just jumping here makes sense. So who do I like more on the board right now? I want to try to do an assessment here and then see what the AI is saying for the score, for the percentage. Because I feel like this is sort of the end of this fight. Black may want to play one more move locally, but I think white was pretty successful overall. However, black does get a very large bottom right area. So this did solidify quite a lot of black's points, and they can still go and play in the bottom left corner and the top left corner and reduce the left side in general. So white doesn't really have as many points as black, I think. So who do I like more? I think black is almost impossible to attack anywhere. So I actually think I like that significantly more because I'm a very solid type player. So I do think that I like black a little bit more. Unless there's some really bad Aji here. It does look like there's Aji, but I don't know how bad it is. I think black can handle it. And if they can't, I think even playing one more move right now is not too big of a deal because we are still pressuring this group. I don't see an easy way to just live in this area. I think it's pretty solid. But AI is way better, so AI will know. And as I said, I don't know if we need one more move. We may want to play one, but I don't know if we need it because white is still weak and we can cut these 3 stones off whenever we need to. So I do think we can reduce white without any real worry on the board because we're pretty thick everywhere. So I want to say black's ahead, maybe like a 60 to 70% sort of thing. So let's see move stats here. 78%. All right. I should have been a little bit more. A little bit more with that, but I was still right. Okay, that's good. I've been wrong when guessing this a few times, so it's good to check it. Because if you're wrong, then there's something you're missing, basically, right? This means that this probably is fairly solid points on the bottom right for black. But it's a 3.5 game. It's not game over at all. It's 3.5 if you're both AI from this point, right? So there's nothing really wrong with that. So I do want to see black's next move. And then the next little fight. And then I'll probably be done with this game. Because as I said, I don't believe black needs another move here. It could still be good to play one, but I don't believe black needs one. This Hane does feel really nice, I have to be honest. Because it gets rid of the Hane for white, which is threatening to cut through. Now, black can probably capture the stones, so it doesn't matter as much, but it is something to be annoyed by. However, I do think maybe even just approaching here is good enough, but also just playing in the bottom left area would be really comfortable right now. Let's see. They're going to play one more move. Okay, they're going to cut it off right now. All right. That is really big. This is where I wasn't sure if you should. Let's see if AI agrees with that. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you should do that right now. Yeah, bottom left is good, and playing this other move over here like I was thinking about was good. But it does want to cut right after that. So that's good to know. It does want to cut right after. Because that is big enough. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about the cut too much right now. Yes, this is the better way to cut. I was showing the empty trunk because it's more clean to look at on the board. But this is the better way to cut. But yeah, the outside move was better. The outside move I was thinking about was a better move to play right now. And I just wasn't sure if I needed one more move. So I was happy to go take the corner now. All right. So cut right away. And then they play on the left side. Well, now we're taking the corner 1000%. Oh, no, not yet. Oh, I guess we're going to attack a little bit first. Okay, attack is fine. You can attack first. Because if you can attack these stones, they jump this way, you're also reducing the left. But I think the corner is still really nice and big right now. So we still got both moves. I'm not sure I actually like this jump by white, honestly. It's probably fine, I guess. Yeah, this jump seems really bad. Yeah, okay, good. I always hedge a little bit, but it didn't feel very good. It feels like white is the one that needs to play another move here. So yeah, we did get two moves here. So I think black, yeah, is just doing way better now. They made a very small mistake, not a very big mistake. And now this is 100% completely solid points. Okay, good. No drop frames or anything. And white needs to play another move right now. So peep makes sense. We could try to jump from this side, but I think just connecting is going to be fine. Oh, going to play the... Okay, so we are going to do a little bit more. Instead of defending this one, this is already cut off. This is already pretty safe. Approaching the corner would also save these 3 stones. So that's a great way to do it. White, the only problem I have with that is that white can now decide to be very aggressive if they feel like they're behind. I don't know if white feels like they're behind or not. But if they do feel like they're behind, this is where white could be very aggressive with some sort of pincer idea, threatening to cut, threatening to capture the stone, threatening to do a bunch of stuff, right? Doesn't mean it's good, but they could try something along those lines. Attach over the top, okay. This is really good for black, I think. Black will just take a diagonal. I like diagonal maybe more, but attachment could be good too. Oh, Tanuki now. Okay. This is defending enough. I think I would just continue here locally. I think I'll just continue, but they want to try to do it like a sort of an asking move, I think, first before they continue in the top right, top left. You know what I'm saying. Because depending on what white plays here, you get more or less reduction on like the left side or this bottom left, like the top left or bottom left, right? So Hane over the top means we could extend. We get the Hane. They need to extend, and then we can go into the corner now. But now it feels like when white gives up the corner, they usually shouldn't give up the corner, but if white does now, I feel like it's a little bit better because we made those exchanges. So now we're going back to the top. Yeah, I thought I would like maybe the diagonal more. Then we could turn here, and we're still threatening white with this turn. But I guess the attachment should be very similar, so it should be fine. Okay, now corner. Okay. It's possible white should still not allow the connection underneath because that's really big. And maybe that was the point of C9 and C8, is to make it so that they want to not block at E2 or D2. But it does feel like if they block at C4 now, it is bigger than it was before. But I think you still have to do D2. Yeah. And black jumps instead of sliding. Sliding is a normal move. But maybe because of these extra stones, their jumping feels better for them. So let's just see if black lives here, and then we'll check the game. We'll see how things are going, look at the performance report and all that some fun stuff. I think you can't Hane right now because there's a peep. So yeah, if you Hane, there's this peep right here, which sort of destroys some of the position here. Even if you can do this one, there's not that much ice space on the other side now. And white could also Hane from this side, which is threatening that, and still come over here because they're really strong locally. They could be very aggressive. So I think Hane is bad. You'd want to extend, or you'd want to play another move, like maybe this diagonal move, B4, threatening the Hane in the corner, and maybe an eye on this side as well. That could be a cool way to play it, B4. Extending feels slightly bad, honestly, especially if white can play it somewhere like B6. That's not enough space to live. Turn first, okay. Threatening to get out, make some shape on this side first. And white's still going to peep here, because if we do just answer black, you can see that black is really close to just being alive right away with the variation I was saying. So even if that's not the best way to do it, I can already see a way to live. And so obviously the pro can see the way to live right there too. So get rid of the potential eye shape and base, force them to run out, which also could mean the more they run out, the more that this area could end up being destroyed. So they have to run, though. They connect first, but they have to run. I don't think connecting is useful, though. So yeah, run first. We want to treat these lightly, probably. We probably don't want to save them. So jumping here. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then coming back to attack this group. Yeah, I feel like the exchanges that were made actually hurt black here. I don't know, but I do feel like that kind of hurt black. Yeah, it did a little bit. It's not a huge amount, but it did a little bit. The attachment here is the right move. That's interesting. But just take the corner, and it's easier to live here. Because this exchange makes it so that there's a more obvious type of moves you can play to fight back as white. But I just want just the pure push here, which I wasn't expecting. I thought they would want one of these moves too. But just the push is better. Okay. And then this is good. And this extension, yeah, that's another minus 1.1. Yeah. As I said, I was sort of caught up on this. I felt like these were bad exchanges. I don't know if that means white would actually block the other way, but they did feel like bad exchanges. And so let's just look a little bit more here. See how this fight goes. It is a little dangerous for white. But black is able to black's trying to juggle the two sides at the same time, and I don't really like that. So I still think black is probably ahead, but black has to be very careful from now on. I think these exchanges made the game a little bit closer. I don't know percentage-wise, but I think it made it closer. So let's look at that. Yeah, 69% instead of 80%. But black's still slightly ahead. All right, let's look at the game. Let's go past here real quick. I think it goes all the way to end game, what it looks like. And I don't remember who won, so yeah, 300 moves. It's definitely all the way to end game. Maybe even a ko. They both played really well. Looks like white wins potentially. It does. It does, Dark Jackal. If you make a bad exchange and your opponent makes a bad exchange, whoever made the worst exchange is the one who actually made the bad exchange. That's the important part. 90 opening for black. Yeah, black had a much better opening. White had better mid game. Black had better end game, but mid game mattered more. So let's turn the top move on. Look at the score graph here. Ooh, it goes back and forth, jumping back and forth here. Yeah, because this is gonna, like I said, I don't like how this was developing. I don't like to go through the entire game, trying to guess every single move all the way till the very end. I just want to develop a sense for it and see where I think they went wrong, you know? And this felt like the right time for things to have gone wrong, because black is going to is balancing the fight on both sides as best as they can. And white doesn't actually need to do that the same way. White's just trying to focus on whatever is the best result to maybe even capture the bottom left. They don't even need to save all of these stones. They could just focus on one thing at a time. So it's a little different for black. They're going back and forth. So I did not like that. So we can see how that happened. Let's go back to the beginning here first. Just a couple moves in. See how the game developed. We see a pro game with a good example of good end game. Maybe make a video on it. End game. Most pro games should have good end game in them. I know it's often good to just study the end game on pro games, because I think even pros are slightly better than AI for end game, because AI is just focused on winning, and pros are focused on sort of playing the best end game they can. Not just focused on the I'm winning by 1 point that's good enough, as much as AI is able to win by half a point or 1 point. So I know that end game is good for professional stuff. I'm not sure how I'd want to do end game videos yet, but it could be good to see if we can find some good end game stuff. And that could be something I should actually potentially do as well, because I need to practice my end game. Like I can study all this stuff up to here, get to the end game portion, turn off this area, and try to find the best end game moves. I could try to do that too, and I might do that in the future. But right now, I'm not doing that. Yes, no, yeah, no. I think it's not necessarily bad, but I do think most pro games should have good end game. I think it's mostly accepted that if you're a pro, your end game is probably mostly perfect. Not exactly perfect, but mostly. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, and this was the weird move that I think is interesting to look at here. But yeah. Anyway, nothing really wrong with any of their moves, except it does want white to just do it now. Just break in now. Do something over there. Don't worry about building your own area. Black's area is a little bit bigger. And yeah. And it does look like we want this attachment, not this one. But AI is way better, that sort of stuff. Oh, it does want the hunt on the outside. It does not want the back off in the corner. This is some of the stuff I want to look at. The back off in the corner is fine. It's still an okay move. It's just not perfect. And so I'm probably still happy to play it, but that'll simplify some things, right? That's why I like to, even if it's slightly bad, it's simplifying the game a little bit. But hunting the outside, I was not expecting this to be the move, because there's a lot of Aji here too. I think I like this one probably a little bit more than the haunting the outside here because of how much Aji there is with that type of move. Yeah, haunting the outside, again, usually good. That's what I was thinking they should do. But nothing bad here. Oh yeah, this was just demonstrating the tripod shape. Atari pushing is good right now. Okay. So what I was showing was the idea of pushing and pushing, because if they do the double hane, there's Aji in the corner. And I don't know how well to use the Aji in the corner, but it does feel like we can escape this way pretty easily, and they have something to worry about. I would probably lose that game though, so don't worry about it. So this is a slightly bad move, and this is where black is getting a slight advantage. Even when they play a bad response, they're still getting a slight advantage. I played this one automatically, and when I was doing variations and stuff, but usually this one's also fine. So I'm glad to see that my move was a little bit better. But maybe if we let it think, the other move will be fine too. No, it's not. We'll turn that off. But yeah. This one, it's because there's so much Aji here. And oh yeah, so I was wrong, and so was the pro here. It is better to continue playing on the bottom versus the top. It seems like the top is easier, much more comfortable. It definitely seems like the top's easier. I guess this move is threatening to take the stone out of the corner because there's more Aji here now. But yeah, I would have to be very confident with this one. And I'm not that confident with that one. Push here first is fine. And then, oh, interesting. After the push, it wants the diagonal instead of the knight's move more, but it's still the same. Still the same. Not a big deal. And yeah, this is the normal peep that I usually see for this shape. But this one seemed also okay. Okay, I was about to say, oh no, the move I liked is bad. But let's let it load a little bit more. Is it bad? Oh, I like that move though. I feel like that simplifies the situation quite a bit. Could be another situation where it's fine, but it's just not really good. We can extend again. And then playing towards the center is good. If they do this one, we want to make sure to protect these stones. That's interesting. But yeah. So do you actually like endgame Dark Jackal? I think a lot of people don't like endgame. And yeah, here for sure, you need one more move as white. Even just this one, right? Just one more move here as white. I feel like that was important, so. But white ends up winning the game, I think. We'll get to the end and see. Yeah, it's white by 10, yeah. So white ends up winning because of the fight that happened later. And maybe end-game stuff, who knows. I think it's the fight, though. Yeah, the approach was okay, but not great. But this was a mistake, because, like, the approach was technically a bigger mistake, but this attachment, I think, is a more obvious type of mistake. To me, at least, it felt like a mistake. Because it makes the corner a little bit more difficult to handle. But, oh, interesting. Diagonal here. Threatening to haunt in the corner, I guess. Anyway. Take the corner. Let's see how the AI would handle this one. Push, still good. Turn, still good. Knight's move there, still good. But it doesn't want to go back to attack this group. It wants to just jump. If white just takes this, then we could attack from a larger scale, I guess. All right. I have noticed, and it seems to be true with AI as well, that it's like the clearest point in the game. You can be pretty sure what's going to happen. It is technically a clear point of the game, as long as you understand in game. But yeah, like I was saying, this does seem to be true no matter what rank you are. Finish one thing first, then if they take it and they finish it, then you move on to the next area. We don't want to have to juggle something. That does seem to be true even for pro level games. Just finish an area first. So because going in here, it's not a big mistake. Still a good move, still a strong move, right? But we can see how in the game what's going to happen, even though white's not playing the best way. We can see that there's a fight on this side, and this group might just die naturally. If white gives this up, the black stones die over here without any sort of bonus. So this feels potentially really good for white, even though it's keeping the game pretty close. Means that white didn't even need to save these too much, yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's why I like as I can open this up here, over here, 19 by 19. If it loads nicely. That's why I like this website here, 19 by 19. We have the subject here. We can actually choose in-game. We can choose 9 Dawn in-game. Come on. It doesn't want to load. I got to refresh the page. And try again. There we go. We choose 9 Dawn in-game. There we go. And then you play a position from the in-game here against the AI at the 9 Dawn level. And the 9 Dawn AI will make some mistakes. That's why it's not the pro. That's why it's not the full AI level. But this is what I like for in-game stuff right now. I think it's really good. So similar to studying a pro game, but you're playing out the moves yourself and trying to figure out the best way to play this in-game, whatever it is, right? How do we manage it? What's the biggest move? What's all that stuff, right? There's like 100 of these, so I've done okay with a couple of them. We got some 3 stars here. After I figured it out. It took a while, but I figured it out. 1 star on the first one because I didn't realize something was good. But yeah, I think this is the best way, but I need to do more of these. I did this before Go Congress to practice, and that helped a lot before I got to Congress. Yeah, so we'll finish this real quick. And even your own games, you can study the end game in your own games too, which is what makes end game really good. So if you ever have a close game, you can study how you could have played the end game better there, pretty easily. Oh yeah, Atari. Now we're going back to this side. So as I said, we're sort of juggling, and that's not very good. Unless you're a professional juggler, because now we're giving this up, but we haven't actually attacked white in a strong way yet. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I think this is like almost a 2-point mistake. So, and jump here. Ooh, the Hane works. Oh, I guess it does work. That is cool. See if the professional found it. No, just capture. Okay, the Hane does work because with this Atari here, it actually has the cutting point here and this here. So when we capture, they have to capture again. And of course, if they try to keep attacking us, we do get to keep this in Sente before we go back to defend, which is really cool. So Hane is actually nice. That's cool. I wouldn't find that in a game, so it's all good. Hane is good now. This one was a little bit more obvious now. Like I might be able to find it at this point. Ooh. This feels a little bit like you might be giving up the top stones with this move. I don't like this one. I guess the top stone should still be alive, but I don't like this one too much. But that's pretty obvious. The AI is saying it's red, so I'm not guessing that it's good or bad. I have already seen it, so it doesn't really matter. We're just going through the last part of the game to see how it turned out. Yeah, this one has some good follow-ups. We got the nice Atari there. They have to cut. So we have Atari, and we have more Ataris and Aji on this side. So white has to be a little bit careful. Then push here. We're trying to surround white, and I think white's pretty close to being surrounded. They may actually be close to dead here. It looks like they can survive just barely. That's why black's only ahead by 4 points, or 5 points now. But it looks like this is where the fight's going to go downhill. So we got the Hane, and they pull back to this area now. Oh. I guess that is a good threat. I feel like white can survive this pretty easily, though. Right? Because even if you look at it, this move into this move, white's alive, right? Yes, there's Aji on the outside, but white is alive pretty quickly. So I'm not even sure. That's why AI is fine with this cut right now. Because white can live over here really fast. So attach here. I understand why they're saying it's a mistake. This is like a normal technique. This attaching crosscut here is normal technique to sort of survive in this area. And yeah, there we go. So black's gonna be able to live on the left side, but this lost black points, and I think it's because they could have reduced anyway because they were probably going to attack this group nicely. But in this case, while they live, white doesn't get under attack anymore. And now this top group is actually becoming a little bit weaker. It should be fine, though. Connect underneath. Atari. Capture. A little bit of a co-action here, I see. Honey and block. It just says, no, this isn't a co-threat. Yeah, I don't think I would respond to that either. I have to be honest. I don't think I would respond to that. But maybe it's good enough as a co-threat. Maybe it actually is. I don't know. I would have, if I don't respond, I'd probably die. Because that's how bad I am at the game. Connecting now. Okay. As I said, we're just pushing through the game to see how it happened. Oh, it's interesting. I guess white's not alive, so that would make a move that's threatening to kill. Not worried at all about that because we want to use the Saji more. Okay. Surround. Yep. Surround. Aji there. Atari. Fixing some more Aji. And now using the Atari here. Yeah, this is just like, it got really complicated. It got like super complicated when it seems like black was doing really well. Then it got super complicated, and that's how white's able to get back into the game. So how would we have simplified this earlier? Oh, yeah. We already know. We already know how we would simplify it earlier. We just play another move here. If they take these stones now, this was already a good enough exchange, and now we can move on to just attacking this from a distance here. Because if they aren't careful, first of all, they're just solidifying this even more. They're not going to be able to do too much. And they still have to live with this group. But maybe if we count, the board will not be as clear. That's something we need to know, right? It's a 2.2 score, but we should count the board to see if it's obvious for someone counting or if it's just obvious for AI. My feeling was that black was ahead, but maybe it won't seem like that later. White does have like 80 points. So see what black has here. Yeah, they do have about the same amount of points on the board, and it seems like most of what I'm counting should be fairly close to be like it should be pretty obvious. Obviously points, right? There's a possibility of them not being points, but it should be right now pretty obvious that they are points. So I don't know, I would feel pretty comfortable as black even after counting. They want me to tell you to trust them implicitly. Well, I just know like in my own games, sometimes I'll count the board and I'll think I'm behind by 5 points or so. But the AI actually says I'm ahead by a couple points. And it's because I should know that there's some way to reduce somewhere, right? But I actually just don't know how it works. So if you can count and the count actually seems similar to what the AI is saying, then that means there isn't this random hidden thing somewhere. That's all I was really trying to find, was this hidden points or a hidden invasion thing, right? So it does feel like if we just manage to attack this group in any way whatsoever, we should be able to just win as black. So maybe they thought that wasn't good enough in the game, though. It is possible. But this is what I feel as well. Is just I could just attack that group. That's probably what I would have done. Is just attack but I would have wanted to. I wouldn't have wanted to leave this though. I do want to threaten this, right? If they back off and take it, we've got that extra strength now. Now if we do something like this one and they do just back off, you can see that maybe when they go to live here, we'll just make it really obvious, right? We'll make it really, really obvious. Now they're alive. Maybe when we push here, we're going to end up getting some extra points in this area. Now, this isn't the best way to play. As it shows here, this is not the best way to play. I just played moves real quickly. For example, white has this and this cut here. This is not a very solid position. But I was just to highlight this idea. So yeah, I wouldn't be too upset with that sort of thing. So let's see. Well, you can just see how it happened anyway. Let's go all the way back to here. Yeah, and this is where the first big drop that black had was right over here. That first big drop was turning here. Instead of saving their group, they turned to cut off the group. But that's an understandable mistake. We're turning here. This is almost Sente, but this group is not alive right now. Even though we're attacking, there's definitely a possibility of white getting an eye on the top because this group's not alive. And then if white gets an eye on the top in Sente, they're just alive as a group because they can always connect here to make that other eye. So that's no good. That's why black wants to get rid of the eye right now. Because yeah, that looks like white's just alive now, basically. Even if black goes this around, it looks like white is pretty much just alive. Black is threatening to attack this group very severely, which is why they did these Hanes. They're surrounding, but also trying to attack severely. This was just a nice squeeze test G. There is cutting point there. I'm not sure I'm too worried about this as white, honestly. I think because I can capture here at any time, which also threatening to capture more stones. And it kind of doesn't matter if we're surrounded here too much. But I'm sort of missing the vital points. That's why it's going back and forth. There's just missing the basic vital points for AI. Basic for AI, I'm saying. I don't know the vital points. I wouldn't be able to find it properly in the game. Like, I would probably Hane if I thought that was the right move for this, because you're reducing a liberty, right? That makes sense. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so you're capturing those 2 stones. That seems like that was really good. Because you're saving your group, you're capturing stones. There's still a co. There's still stuff to worry about. Yeah, still it seems good. But this does feel really big right now. Whoever gets this point is that should be the winner, right? Maybe not the winner, I guess, but it's because white can do some more. But man, that feels really good to get. Yeah, jump. Yeah, so because the other one there was a Aji to push through. Now that Aji's gone, they play this Hane. Now it's basically whoever gets this is the winner. That is a interesting. They do take it right now, but they make another mistake later on. So that push was bad, but not. Yeah, not too big of a deal. Yeah, just Atari that. We're good to go. Capture. Are we dead on the top? We should be fine on the top. Oh, capture here first. That is potentially good, yeah. Then capture. Yeah, that seems good. Are we dead on the left side completely? They had moral victory, yeah. They got Tengen, so that's all that really matters in this game, honestly. They almost won, but they messed up even after getting Tengen. So obviously they need to get rid of their professional card thing. So anyway, Black just needs to live. That is just alive now, so we're good. And any other mistake here? Yeah, it's just going back and forth a little bit. Black got to capture these stones. That feels really nice, but that was actually good for white. That makes sense, yeah. It's funny that was good for white. Oh, it's just because they're capturing this on a very cleanly, and maybe we could have forced them to capture it in a more dirty way. If we pull back here, they have to Hane, and then there's still a bit of Aji here, potentially in the future. It's like technically there's still a Ko shape in this area. Maybe we can get some more moves out of it. But also just capturing a stone here or connecting here is really big. These are also really big Sente moves. So white got to squeeze and comfortably capture, getting rid of all the Aji in that area, and white got Sente. That's why it's better for white. Clean, squeeze, and Sente. So white is potentially just the better end gamer. There is Aji, but there's not too much Aji right now. They will have to connect eventually after this potential Atari here, but oh yeah, we want to do this one to. That's a nice capture, so we don't want to let that happen. All right. Yeah, I'm surprised they aren't trying to do something at the top right now, but it makes sense. He wants to see if he can live first. There's a Ko here. Another Ko. This one's a funny Ko. Because this is still Sente here. They have to connect. That's why you can't... that's why he didn't want to Hane. That's why he didn't want to play this side, because this is now free move. They have to capture. So they're playing the Ko instead to get a little bit more points. All right, let's see. Just Ko threats. I'm not going to worry too much about Ko threats. Oh, they turned that into a Ko too. Oh, yeah, they have to. Oh, they didn't respond to that. So I see what happened with black here. Okay, so white made a Ko threat that's a Ko threat. Black killed this top side because they were okay with playing this Ko instead. But do we need to do that one? I guess we do. We do have to do this throw in. Yeah, so we have to throw in. You can't connect. You're dead. You can't capture. You're dead. So this is just another Ko. So we traded, we captured this, but we're trading for something that could potentially be bigger. So that's only if you have enough Ko threats to handle it. Oh yeah, and white doesn't need too much. So it's saying that if black's alive, that was the natural state. But even if white's dead here, they just need to get a little bit, and the game's gonna be close. That's just funny. Oh, they connected here. Why'd they connect there? It looks like white doesn't need the ko anymore. White doesn't even need the ko anymore. Okay. They still play the ko because it's big. Why not? And they're going to see if they can win the ko. Oh, white plays one bad move. But it's not bad because I think everyone would respond here normally. Because they captured it. They got to keep their capture. So it makes sense to me. Yeah, so eventually white does just take it. And they play big end game over here. And then white's ahead. But black is about to make another really big mistake. Oh. It was right here. Capture in the corner. I like how big of a mistake this is for win rate. This is a huge win rate mistake. One small in-game mistake, and win rate goes from 60% to 90% for white. 60% for black to 90% for white. Wow. Just simple mistake, too. Because that looks big. That does look really big. Yeah, that looks really, really big. Anyway, it doesn't matter too much right now. That was kind of interesting to see. Now it's just that's rough. Yeah, that is rough. They're both playing basically good in game from then on. Yeah, basically just good in game from then on. But that one move was just slightly wrong. That is rough. Like you said, that one is rough. And now white wins by half a point because of that ko in the center of the board. Half a point because of that ko. Oh. That sucks. I would be so upset with this game. If I lost because I played a ko out at the center that looked big. Oh. Yeah, I would be upset with that for sure. Okay. Because after that, they played all green moves. After that was just all good moves. Normal in-game. So let's go back to that first capture here. So this area is just a little bit bigger. White can do this Atari. And then they can connect the ko. Then we capture here. And there's a possibility of black making a mistake and losing. But it looks like black should win by 0.5. Oh, man. Let's play out the blue moves here, yeah. Not blue, but play it anyway. There we go. Yeah, that's just sad. It's just a half-point game from then on. Oh. Let's count how much this is, right? Because it seems big. White does need to play on the inside. It's minus 0.6. So I guess it's just because of those two moves. One move is just slightly bigger. It's half a point bigger, obviously. But, yeah, if white plays there... Yeah, so if black gets this one and connects, it's just like a 4 points, maybe 5, 4.5 points, I guess. Somewhere around there. And this one, if white plays there, black doesn't get like 3 or 4 points. Oh yeah, 3 points, but white is potentially getting some points as well. Because as you saw in the game, what sort of happens here is that if white does this one, now we can play other stuff. But yeah, so when we capture here, we're threatening to get rid of some of the points here as well, versus the Hane, Peep, and block here. They're able to save this stone. There we go. They're able to save this stone. That's at least 2 points, plus another 1 point here. Yeah, so it's just like 5 points versus 4.5 points. That's just funny. I didn't count it properly, but it's just like something like that. That's stupid. Yeah, I'd be upset. I'd be upset. something simple like that. Oh. Dang. Well, that was fun to go through, though. It was fun to look at. What time is it right now, anyway? Okay, 11. Okay, just double checking the time. That is about how long I wanted to spend. So that was fun. But after this game went back and forth so much to just play an in-game mistake, oh. Man, I'd probably think about this game for days. I was able to come back, I was able to fight back, and then I make an in-game mistake. Oh, man. Even I'm upset for him. I don't know. I feel like maybe this mistake here, right? So like one of these mistakes, yeah. It's like this mistake, I would feel really bad as white if because of this mistake here. You should just be capturing, right? But I feel like that's also an understandable mistake, you know? It does feel like you're threatening to do something really, really big. So I wouldn't be too upset. It'd be like a learning moment, you know? Whereas, like I said, that's like a learning moment here. Whereas this one, this just means he counted it wrong. And he just made a mistake, like something that he should be able to figure out in a game. It just means he counted it wrong. And that's I think that's worse. I think that's worse. Now, white did make this small mistake here, but I think it looks like it's still. Oh, this is just an annoying game. This is just an annoying game. At the very end here. Yeah, it looks like maybe white would also be upset with this one move that is potentially losing them the game because that's a half a point as well. I don't know. That's super. I respect your feelings. Yeah. I don't know. There's just lots of really small mistakes that I would be upset by if it's something I think I should be good at, right? Or something I should think I should be able to figure out pretty easily. Should be able to count it. But anyway, that's good enough for now. We shall end. Maybe something I will start doing is I might start trying to go through some of these problems on stream too. So I'll do Tsumego, regular Tsumego stuff as my sort of warm up to start my brain. I'll then look at a pro game and then try to do some of these types of problems, the in-game ones here. I don't know if it'd be fun to watch, but these would be my practice in the morning. That's all I'm doing. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, or if I just decide to stream later, I'll do that, but I'll probably just see you guys tomorrow morning. Yeah, I think that's about it. Anyway, well, hopefully we'll get a Japanese game tomorrow so we can get more of those coming in. Yeah, worth a try, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, have a good day.